Hey y'all, it's me, Dave. Welcome to the internet. I have someone with me who's like extra special and way hotter than me. But first, if you haven't picked up my book, Hearing Love, it's available on Amazon and Paperback. An ebook, I'll put that link in the description. And then if you enjoy the music under my videos or any of my videos, you can download it all at forloveoftheword.bandcamp.com. And you may have noticed I just released another new album a couple weeks ago. I've been uploading tracks to YouTube, but you can go over to bandcamp.com and download Howls and Wails, which is named after the book Reese Howells' Intercessor, and all the track titles come from chapters of that. So all those links will be in the description. And then also today's a really special day, and I'm super proud of my wife, who's here with me right now. Bum, 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 bum. She just released a class today called I Am a Scribe on her Teachable account, right? But you can get there through your website.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about it? Cause
Are we doing it now?
Yeah, the internet's watching.
Okay. I have a course on Teachable, and it is a course on the healing benefits of expressive writing and creative journaling.
She's a bigger deal than me, guys. Go take the class. But anyway, today I wanted to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is...
Do I need to go now?
Gosh, you're pretty. You're so distracting because you're so pretty.
Babe.
I don't want you to go.
You're the director. You have to give me directions.
Okay.
Do I need to sit down now?
Oh, she's so pretty. Take her class.
Do I sit down now? Tell me. What to do? Do you want me to smile?
How do I transition that?
I don't know.
Because I'm going to be talking a lot too. I'll film that later. All right.
I'll just poof. I'll disappear.
No, we'll have you. Alright, I'm so proud of her. She's put a lot of work into the class, so you can check that out. I'll put her link to the website and the class down in the description. And if this is the first time you get to meet my wife, congratulations. She's a pretty incredible person. Anyway, I've been wanting to do this video for a while actually, but she's been working so hard on this class that she's putting together that I thought like, well, I'm doing another like journaling type video, and so I'll wait until she's ready to release the class, and then that way I can have her on. And so if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna have her share a little bit more about the class so you can get a better idea of what's going on. But in this video, I just wanted to do something quick and share a gift idea that I had. What to get or what to do, I guess would be better. A gift idea for your wife who journals. Or you could be a wife whose husband journals, and it could be a gift back to him. But anyway, this journal has been a very special journal in our house. It's just one little, notebook with, I think it's Tomoe River paper. I'm not going to show you it because it's full of all kinds of secrets and stuff. But anyway, at the end of December, I just started getting this like, oh man, we've been married 18 years. It was December 27th was our 18-year wedding anniversary. I'm like, oh man, we've been married for all this time. And I'm starting to have this pull back to like, oh man, 2000, 2001, 2002 when we first met and we're dating and we're engaged on and off again and writing each other while I was at basic training, visiting each other in our different states that we were in and just having a good time. And so I started looking at all the pictures. My heart was stirred. And so one of the things I started doing when I ran out of pictures was I asked permission to read some of the journals. If you're familiar with my testimony, I was never a big reader, and it was the Lord who's shifted my heart and the capacity of my mind to read and comprehend and enjoy what I'm reading. But here recently, that healing is starting to make inroads and overflow and affect even my marriage, and it's been such a beautiful thing. So when we found these journals while we were cleaning or reorganizing something, I think putting the Christmas decorations up or something like that, they came up and I had looked at all the pictures I could, and then here's these journals, and I'm like, oh, what a special treasure. I want to read through some of these. So I asked Allie permission to read through the journals. And so there was such beautiful times and tragic times to read about. But while I was reading the journals, my heart just began to sink because I'm like, okay, here we are 20 years later. I have this special treasure of my wife who's journaled all of her life to go back and read what was going on in her when we met, what was going on in her when we were engaged, when I was in basic training, when we were first married, when I began to really cause a lot of harm and pain and confusion after we got married because I wasn't saved yet. And just reading through all this, I began to get grieved a little bit because I'm like, I have this special treasure that she's written. She doesn't have anything like that from me. Like, I was never a words guy. I didn't read, and so I didn't write. I hated writing just as much as I hated reading. We wrote a little bit when we first started dating when we were apart because we couldn't talk on the phone sometimes, or just, you know, that whole ooey gooey, I love you stuff. And so I have a few letters that I've sent to her, but she by far wrote me the most, and she's got this journaling, and I just began to get this unsettled, like, man, that's not fair. I want to make this up to her. And so while I'm reading the journals, there's seasons where it's like, if I'm reading what's going on in her mind, then I need to, like, write her now and let her know what was going on my end. And so through the good and a lot of bad, I wrote her and explained, like, what was going on. And this took me back to just a place of remembering the joy and the freshness, or just a fresh wave of conviction just resting over me for how I did treat her when we were first married, and just some of the immature ways that I processed or didn't process things. And so just going back and writing her, but what that's done is it's brought a lot of healing to different places and her. And we'll talk about this in the video that I'm going to post on Patreon as a companion video to this one. But it began to bring healing into some places of her heart, and she began to write me back. And so now that I've read through the journals for the first 12 years of our marriage, we've continued to just write each other. And it's interesting, words was never a love language of mine. Like, again, like I never liked reading, I never liked writing. And so words was never a natural love language, but I feel like falling in love with God through His Word healed my heart in places, and now He's using that same exact pattern to bring healing between my marriage, where I'm not emotionally disconnected from my wife or my kids or something. And it's really all been centered around words. It's been around, you know, spending time either communicating, just talking, or one of my favorite ways now has been just to write. And so in the evenings, most evenings, sometimes I don't have anything to write and I don't like force it out, but most evenings I want to write her, like, the joys and the challenges of each day or each week and season, and just write. And we've been writing each other back and forth. And so I'll slip this on her table in the morning when she's ready to write, and it's bookmarked, and then if she reads it and writes it, then she'll put it back on the nightstand that night or maybe a couple days later. And so we just have this back and forth of a journal, and we're writing each other again, and it's so fun, and it's really bringing so much life and healing into our marriage that I just wanted to share it with you. It's simple. It's free. I mean, unless you're a Chic Sparrow fan and you want to start getting into all these different leather thingies, but she had this one lying around, so we use this one. But I mean, it's free for the most part, unless you want to get like the really fancy bougie leather, which is okay. We like the really fancy bougie leather on this channel, don't we? But anyway, I wanted to share that with you because of the life that it has brought in our marriage, and the joy that I found in maturing in a love language that was not naturally a love language of mine. And I really just thank the Lord for giving me the grace to grow up through His Word, so that He can use the word between my wife and I to be able to communicate with no pretense and just be fully open. And it's taken a long time, because I used to be someone who was like really closed off. My wife is just open and honest with everyone, and what you see is what you get, where I was the exact opposite. So you can imagine some of our tension, where she just wants to communicate openly. She wants to walk in the light of truth, and then me, as an unsaved guy, always wanted to, hide in the darkness. And then when I did get saved, it's like that emotional connection between me and her didn't heal automatically. The Lord had to bring me through a process to bond with Him personally. And then after all these years of walking with the Lord, He's used the same template of healing by delight in the Word to heal me and Him. He's used that same template to begin to heal my wife and I, and it's been so cool. So anyway, just wanted to share that great gift idea for your journaling spouse. Start writing them again, even if it's been a long time. See what happens, and let me know in the comments or something. But anyway, Y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, all the links mentioned at the beginning will be in the description. And then, if you would like to join my lovely wife and I she's back, over on Patreon, we're going to do another video on the Patreon page discussing just the healing that journaling to each other and writing each other in this little notebook, what that has done to benefit our marriage. And so anyway, those links are in the description, and we'll see you over on Patreon if you want to come over and then share a little bit more about your class.
It is my biggest course I've ever offered and probably ever will offer, because it's so to the core of who I am as a person. I feel like I really do take on the spirit of the scribe, and so and not to be like ooh, but like just scribe, we write a lot. So I go into what a scribe is, and then the science and research about how it benefits you expressively writing, and there is a difference between expressive writing and journaling. And then I go into just like a whole bunch of things, types of journaling. I give you prompts. I have a printable download, and we even get into like the creative fun stuff, like the watercolor plopping.
That sounds creative and fun.
It is super fun. And just some different things that I do to keep it fresh, just really want to empower you to have freedom in your journal, because it's for you, it's for your process. And yeah, it's like 6.5 hours of content. There's songs on there, one that David has done and I sang on, and the other one I'm kind of excited about it. You
did good. I was listening to it on the way here.
Yeah, I kind of did it almost all by myself, like the pieces and the putting it together, and even the automation. Ooh, I did automation. I'm really excited that I got to try something new with producing a song. So there's 2 songs on there, and just a lot of encouragement. The very end, there's like testimony after testimony after testimony of why expressive writing has helped people, and so many different seasons, there's so many different people, but this will work for anyone, truly.
Great. I'm so proud of you. It's so cool to see this actually done. This has been like in you for 5 or 6 years now. I want to do it with this class one day. 4? Okay.
4-ish?
4-ish? We'll call it 5.
We'll say 4.5.
4 3/4.
No.
And an 1/8.
No.
2/15.
It's been a while.
Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want to hear more about how the writing has brought such healing into our marriage, then come...
Personal story.
Yeah, come join us over on Patreon if you're an existing patron, or if you'd like to support my family in full-time ministry, then you can hop over there as well. So thanks again for watching this video. Thank you, babe, for joining me. You're so much prettier than I am. You're going to make my channel grow big.
Oh,
anyway.
it's too much pressure.
Oh, okay, sorry. And I love you. All right, well.
You want to just say bye?
All right, bye. The end.
Bye. You asking me out at the Applebee's parking lot.
October 22nd, 2000.
Yes, and so I remember it was right after Christmas you started like reading my journals. One journal that I gave to you as a gift, it was the journal that I wrote in when he broke up our engagement.